Hi guys, I'm standing in the hotel, the Sheraton Hotel here in Anchorage. We're just about to leave to fly back to Hong Kong, and my crew is just over there. We're doing a special program, or special filming rather, with Just Planes. So they're going to be filming our departure from Anchorage and flights all the way back to Hong Kong. They've done one bit already where they've filmed us departing Hong Kong and arriving in Anchorage. So I hope you enjoy the whole series, of course, of Hong Kong to here and back to Anchorage. Anchorage is a big stop for 747, so it's great that Just Planes are here to do that. Later.
Cathay Pacific, Cathay Cargo, that's the new brand. So that's the aeroplane we're flying. That's the new brand, Cathay Cargo. We carry everything.
So hi, my name is Hon. I'm the relief pilot for this flight. I'm doing the walk around at the moment. So what we're looking for is the general condition of the airplane, the wheels and engine, and if there's any ice on top of the wings. Shall we start? So we are just trying to see if there's any damage to the wheel. And those are called the pedostatic probe on the top, and we just want to see if there's any cover. I'm just checking the general condition of the airplane, if there's anything that looks unusual, any crack, any wrinkle that can suggest that it's might have a hard landing before. just checking the overall conditions of the wheel. Now we're checking the under the tail if there's any sign of scratches. That could be an indication of a tail strike. So now we just repeat the same inspection for the other side. Okay, so that's all for the exterior inspection.
So what's happening now is we are doing our pre-flight checklist. I've done the route entry in the FMC, and the first officer then goes around as PM and checks all the data that I've entered already, that it matches up to what we're planning to do. So everything is cross-checked. That's how we operate. Certainly Cathay Pacific instills that in all its operations. Entry, double check, cross check, everything. Yeah. So what he's checking now is the route that I've put in, and the route comes on our flight plan here. That's our routing. Generally, you highlight as you go along in the FMC to check all the waypoints and positions. As you check them, you take them off like that to make sure, in fact, the flight plan that you've inserted in there is matched up to what's gone to air traffic control and what the company has already done for us. I'll keep this here because we're going to do the OPT in a minute. Yeah. The other thing I've done, once he's finished with that, I've done a flow pattern, checking that all the switches are in the right position. So I've done that, and then the PM comes around and does the same thing again, checks that all the switch positions that are supposed to be there pre-flight are exactly what they should be. Like I said, everything is cross-checked, double-checked by both pilots. Refueling is complete. You can put that.
Fuel's on. With you.
Okay, pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Flight instruments.
The heading is 052. Standby heading 052. Altimeters QNH 2970 indicating 100 feet on the PFD. Standby 2970, about 110 feet.
A heading 052, altimeter 2970, 100 feet. Pre-flight checklist complete.
Check. Okay, we've got the load sheet and the fuel ring is done, complete. Refuel completed. I'll just finish that first.
Sure.
Now that we've got the departure fuel, we've got 119.7.
Check.
109.7. It came in at 15.9, and the uplift is 103.5. We expected an uplift of 103.8.
Check.
That SG makes for that difference. So the actual uplift 103.5, 103.5. So the discrepancy is minus 0.3. That checks it minus 0.0 on there, but that's just because we've got the extra on there. So that's good. The walk around is complete. Commander's acceptance. Nothing outstanding. No uplift on the fuel, on the oil or hydraulics. Accept the aircraft. Yes. Okay. Flight started. Airplane mode. Airplane mode. Can put this one away now. Thanks. And I'll accept the fuel. Pending accept. There's two receipts uploaded by the refueler. Refueling finalized. Okay. All done. And we can do the OPT as well. So because it's a short taxi to runway 33, we can use the ramp weight for the OPT calculation.
Check.
Yeah. And I'm using zero wind. The rest is as published.
Okay.
So we use the Boeing operations performance tool to calculate our speeds, as I said before, when we left Hong Kong. So we're doing it again now, and then we'll be comparing what inputs, and it's individual inputs. The only thing that I might brief on, as I said, is that I'm using zero wind. And because it's a short taxi, I've adjusted the taxi fuel, engine start and taxi fuel. And the rest we just calculate individually. Calculate. So I've got LJN here, Anchorage runway 33 full, wet and zero wind.
Check.
After the calculate is complete, I'll send a compare. Oops, not that one, this one. Compare calculations with, is that you?
Yep.
DUM?
Done.
Connecting.
Accept.
No mismatch is found. So his calculation, which he did individually as far as the weights and CG and so on, are independent to mine, and the two calculations have been compared and we get the same result. So he came back with flaps 20, runway 33 full length, takeoff gross weight of 383.2.
Check.
Engine out acceleration 2,500 feet. Thrust is DTO1 91.1 with the selected temperature of 37 degrees. V1 133, VR 157, V2 167, and Ref 30 168.
I'll check.
Okay, I'll send the output. Okay. Okay, that's gone. Okay, now that we've done that, we can do a quick brief. So the important thing about the brief is that it's supposed to be brief. That's the whole thing about it. So some people go straight to looking at the charts. We don't do that. We make sure that whatever is in there first, and then we verify that the charts we're looking at also match up with what's in there. So starting on the Anchorage to Hong Kong, runway 33, and what I put in there is the Anchorage 9 departure. Okay, for the Anchorage 9 departure is on page 10-3, and it's a standard departure. It's just ahead and make a left turn. Terrain, lots of it. Luckily, we're going in the opposite direction of where most of the high ground is, except a little bit further out. We've got to be above at least 14,000 feet to be clear of some of the high ground there. But the immediate surrounding within 25 miles, we want to be at least above 10,000 feet. Yeah,
check.
And then as we continue on near Nodal, it's 13.7. That's why I said 14,000 feet, and that's all on QNH. Weather, no significant, a little bit of rain around, but that's about it. Nothing significant in terms of thunderstorms and that sort of thing. Operationally, as I said, short taxi, we've catered for that in the takeoff performance, and there is the engine out acceleration is slightly different. It's 2,500 feet here, and the acceleration as well.
Check.
Okay. Slightly above max landing weight, so if we have to come back, we may need to do a bit of jetsoning unless it's a dire emergency where we have to put it down on the ground. And any questions?
No, just the Golf Echo and Kilo, the usual taxi, is close to wingspans above 120.
They might give us left here. The last time they gave us a left here.
Yep.
So we'll see what ATC give us.
Sure.
Yeah, and we just do that.
No questions.
Okay, good. Performance data steps. While we're there, the zero fuel weight is 263.8.
263.8 gives me a takeoff weight of 382.5.
382.5, 383.2 is what we used because of the operational briefing, which is okay, and 382 checks within the takeoff performance band, within the band. Okay. Next page, thrust limit page. TO1. 37 degrees temperature. ETO1, 37 degrees, 91.3, 91.3, 91.1. We've got 2 packs off at the moment here, and climb 1 is armed. Takeoff page. Page 2. Engine out acceleration 2,500. Acceleration is 2,500. The thrust reduction is climb 1, flaps 5. Wet, please. Page 1. Flaps 20. The MACTOW is 26.0. That's within 3%. Runway 33, runway 33. V1, 133.
133.
Can harden up VR of 157.
157.
V2, 167, you can harden up
167.
167. V2, 167. LNAV, VNAV, arm. And I confirm that on the FMA. 329 initial heading and 4,000. VNAV page. Cruise altitude we're looking for is 320. Speed transition 270 to 10,000 feet for cleanup is acceptable. And next page is an optimum of 330. We're going initially to 320, so we'll be slightly below optimum. The maximum is 364. Recommended is 340. On the flight plan, it's got us going up to 340 quite shortly after we get into the cruise. So we'll just fly it as planned.
Check.
And ref, thank you. PRF 30, 168, 168. Spot on.
Check.
Takeoff page. And airplane mode.
Anchorage clearance today, it's Cathay 20901, information Golf Romeo 11, request airways clearance to Hong Kong.
Cathay 20901, heavy Anchorage clearance to Hong Kong Airport via Anchorage 9er departure as filed. Maintain 4,000. Departure frequency 118.6, Fox 3464.
Clear to Hong Kong via the Anchorage 9 departure, then as filed, climb to 4,000, departures 118.6 and squawk 3464, Cathay 20901.
Cathay 20901, heavy readback is correct. Have a good flight.
Thank you.
Okay, so Anchorage, Hong Kong, runway 33, Anchorage 9, departure, 4,000 feet.
Check.
Squawk, 3464.
Check.
Check. Confirm clear to start all engines, ground?
Yes, sir, you're clear to start all engines. Sorry about that, I was trying to remove the chocks, they were all stuck under.
Okay, no problem. Okay, starting now, thanks.
Copy that, you're clear to start.
Con clearance again.
Okay, start. Eng 4 and Eng 3, 2 engines at a time as usual, standard.
Starting Eng 4. Starting Eng 3.
Start Eng 1, start Eng 2.
Starting Eng 1. Starting Eng 2.
stabilized.
Check.
Ground start complete, clear to disconnect.
Copy that. Start complete. Clear to disconnect. Hanson on the left. Thank you. Have a good flight.
Thanks, bye. Flaps 20.
Flaps 20. 20. Recall.
Okay, he's going off on the left.
Check.
Okay, clear to taxi. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Anti-ice. Auto. Recall. Checked. Ground equipment.
Clear.
Clear. Before taxi checklist complete.
Check. Okay, don't need this now. Put these away.
Check. Ground, good day, Cathay 20901, Bay Romeo 11, information, Golf request taxi.
Cathay 2091 Heavy Anchorage ground, runway 33, taxi via Echo, Lima, Romeo, Kilo.
Runway 33, taxi via Echo, Lima, Romeo, Kilo, Cathay 20901.
Okay, that way, yeah.
Yeah. So right, and then left on Romeo.
Yeah. Echo Lima is the first one, as opposed to Golf that we normally use. Yeah.
Check. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, clear left.
Clear right.
It's a bit too close. Yeah, it's better. Flight controls.
Flight controls. Controls neutral.
Nothing close to the wingtip there, it's all clear.
No, all clear. Next right on Lima.
Check. When we make this turn, the rear of the aeroplane is facing all these workmen, so I'll try and use minimum thrust a bit.
Check.
Jet blast.
Horizon 2412, clearing 7, last parking, Charlie 7.
Horizon 2412 Anchorage ground, taxi via Golf 1, Lima, Echo, use the north side.
All right, Golf 1, Lima, Echo, use north side, Horizon 2412.
And it's not this one, the next one, turn left.
Check.
And then right onto. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Load sheet.
Acknowledged.
Acknowledged. Cabin ready. Holding at the final item.
Check.
Ground route flight 130 out the gate, Golf ready next.
130 Anchorage ground. Taxi and hold short, runway 7 left at Delta.
Right, hold short 7 left at Delta, we're going to fly 130.
We're going to fly 130, hold, remain this frequency.
Alright, we'll stay here. Hey, ground, just for clarification for Horizon 2412, when you say north side, is that like for Echo, so basically you want to take Echo 3?
Left here, then right. Check.
Horizon 2412, it's kind of difficult for us to taxi you on because we're not allowed to say to use Echo because it's an uncontrolled area, so we usually say Golf 1 Lima, but then there's a closure on Golf E also, so that we say recommend the north side, which is the Echo 3 entrance.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks so much for that clarification. Horizon 2412.
Cathay 2091 Heavy, moderate tower.
Opponents to tower, Cathay 2091 Heavy, good day.
Left on Golf, right turn onto 7 left, to Quebec 0.
Final item.
To Quebec Sierra,
Final item,
you're going to
takeoff
taxi
data.
down 7 left, make
It's
a
going
right
to
turn
be
at Charlie.
runway 33 just
Short,
coming up
7
here.
right.
Full length valid.
Okay,
Before
down
takeoff check is
7
complete.
left, right at Charlie, hold short of 7 right to Quebec 0. Tower afternoon, security 41 for 7 right.
Security 41, Anchorage Tower, runway 7 right, clear to land.
Clear to land 7 right, security 41.
Park brake set. Check.
Sierra 745, ready Sierra, taxi to park, monitor ground.
Ready to Sierra, taxi to park, we'll monitor ground. Sierra 745, good evening.
Good day. Cathay 2091, heavy, runway 33, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 33, Cathay 2091 Heavy.
Charlie Con, 733 the hold short of Delta.
Clear for takeoff, we keep it rolling.
Check.
Ready?
Ready.
Set thrust.
Thrust set.
Check. Thanks.
Eighty knots.
Check.
V1.
Rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up.
LNAV.
Check.
Thrust ref. VNAV speed. Check.
Cathay 2091, heavy, contact departure.
Departures Cathay 2091, good day.
Grand flight 130, tower, remain.
And maintain 6,000 and expect runway 7 right. So maintain 6,000, expect runway 7 right, London 408.
Departures, good day. Cathay 2091 Heavy, passing 1,200 on climb 4,000, Anchorage 9 departure.
Cathay 2091 Heavy, Anchorage departure, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 200, speed is your discretion.
Climb and maintain flight level 200, speed at our discretion, Cathay 2091 Heavy.
London 408, fly heading 160, vector to final.
200.
Heading 160, London 408. Cathay 2091 Heavy, turn left heading 260.
Left heading 260, Cathay 2091 Heavy.
Select heading, select 260.
Check. 260. Speed checks, flaps 10.
Flaps 5.
Speed checks, flaps 5.
Climb thrust.
Climb 1 set.
Flaps 1.
Speed checks, flaps 1.
Flaps up.
Speed checks.
Departure of flight 130, 1,800, climbing 4,000.
Raven flight 130, Anchorage departure. Good evening. Radar contact. Climb and maintain at 6,000.
Climb maintain 6,000, Raven flight 130, good evening.
After takeoff checklist.
Raven flight 130, turn left heading 260.
Left 260.
After takeoff checklist, after takeoff checklist complete.
Check.
Raven flight 130, contact Anchorage departure on 126.4. Have a good day.
Departure 264, flight 130, good day.
Linden 408, descend and maintain 3,000.
Should maintain 3,000, 1406, 408. Departure 4, I'll tell you what you had at 1,200.
King Air 924 Alpha Charlie, Anchorage departure. Radar contact, climb and maintain at flight level 200.
And we're like to request 120 for our final, please.
King Air 4 Alpha Charlie, I'm under altitude. Climb and maintain 2,000, 12,000. That's what you said, right? 12?
12,000, 2,000. Thanks, Mark.
You bet.
V1. V1.
King Air 924 Australia, turn left heading 260.
Left 260.
Linden 408, contact Anchorage approach 126.4. Have a good day.
Approach on 26.4, Linden 406, 408.
Cathay 2091 Heavy, you're clear direct Yannick.
Clear direct Yannick, Cathay 2091 Heavy.
Thank you. Yannick to the top.
King Air 4 Alpha Charlie, contact Anchorage departure 126.4. Have a good day.
Select LNAV. LNAV.
Check.
Cathay 2091 Heavy, contact Anchorage Center 123.9er. Good day.
123.9 on Cathay 2091 Heavy. Good day. Anchorage Center, Cathay 2091 Heavy, passing 10,700 on climb, flight level 200.
Cathay 2091, Anchorage Center, clear direct to Orca. Climb maintain, flight level 320.
Climb and maintain flight level 320, direct Orca, Cathay 2091.
Orca to the top, please.
There it is.
Execute. LNAV to Orca, flight level 320.
Flight level 320.
Navo 052. Are you actually landing at the stairwell, the one just 40 miles ahead of you? All right, 052, squawk TFR, break exchange, approved. See you later. Raising plate 130, Anchorage Center. Understand Romeo Kenai, expect visual to left. Red line 503, Anchorage Center. Radar contact, about 2 miles east of Homer. Report taking your altitude.
Come on.
Check.
Rudder.
Joining you on weather.
Chile Bravo 999er, resume a normal speed, thank you.
I do a quick scan once we've passed the steer-up period just to make sure everything is where it should be, and there's been no change. And that's about it. We now just monitor the climb, see if there's any weather that might affect us, and we have to go around it. But this nice clear day. This flight is one of those flights where the sun is going to be exactly in that position for the next 7 hours. So you either put your glasses on and look a bit cool, like Dushyant, or you use one of these, which is fine too.
Okay, so
okay, if you request flight level 340, please.
Copy that.
On the CPDLC.
So the CPDLC page, just go request, altitude 340. Request climb to flight level 340.
Yep, send. Thank you.
And also here I'll do a fuel check. So that's the first waypoint after we've cruised. And we got to Sierra Quebec Alpha at time 0123 with 110.8 tons of fuel. And the split between calculated and totalizer
it's about 400.
Is about 400. So we left Anchorage up 7.5 tons. At Sierra Quebec Alpha, we're 1 minute ahead of the flight plan. We're up 7 tons now, and the split's 0.4.
Check snacks. And I've got, yeah, I'm synced with you, so that's okay.
Check. Climb and maintain flight level 340, Cathay 2091. Climb and maintain flight level 340, we read you 5x5, Cathay 2091.
Flight level 340.
Reaching 340, center on 1275, Cathay 2091 heavy. Flight level 340.
First ref, enough speed.
Check.
This is usually where we have all our catering. Good old sandwich tray. This is usually Alaska special reindeer hot dog. There you go.
Okay guys, so a little bit about our routing today from Anchorage to Hong Kong. We were parked over here at position R11, which is Romeo 11. We started engines there and we taxied around onto this taxiway Echo. And then because there's some work going on our normal route on Gulf, they made us turn right onto Lima and go straight on. And then we turned left onto Romeo and then back onto Kilo to line up on runway 33 threshold there. So we took off in the runway 33 direction for Hong Kong today. The routing was on the standard instrument departure, which we call SID, S-I-D. And it was on here, and I'll just expand this so you can see what we did. We took off on runway 33, went up on runway heading, which is 329, and at 600 feet, we turned left onto a heading of 301, after which expect radar vectors to our initial waypoint. Our initial waypoint today on the routing was Yonek, and if you were listening to the ATC communications today, at some point air traffic control gave us a direct routing to go direct to Yonek, and that was our first waypoint. Thereafter, we carried on, and all these routes, of course this route is over the Pacific afterwards. Once we pass the high ground, we stay on the Pacific Ocean basically, and we almost hug the Russian coastline. I'll show you in a minute. And we climbed up to 32,000 feet. I'll just show you the routing now on here. High FIR. I'll just show you the globe again. Let me just zoom it out a bit. There it is. That's the world. Again, I said it's round, it's not flat. Okay, let's go to our actual routing. There's Anchorage, and you can see there, we're going south-southwest, and these are the waypoints we're flying on. This boundary here, as you can see, no operations area, that's the Russian. So we're flying just south of the Russian airspace, all the way, until we get to Japan. That's Japan. And then we will be overflying Japan just north of Tokyo. That's Tokyo Airport there. We'll be flying just north of that. There's Haneda Airport, the other airport in Japan. And then we route south of Nagoya, Toyota City. That's where all the Toyotas are made. Then we carry on south of Japan, and we go past to the south of Kansai Airport, which is RJBB. That's that one. Then we carry on South Japan Sea, which becomes the South China Sea. We continue past the last bit of Japan at Kagoshima over here, HKC, and then we carry on now, which is now all called the South China Sea, pretty much. I call it the South Japan Sea, but there you go. And we carry on until we get over Taiwan. Here's Taiwan. Here's Taipei. We pass overhead Taipei and South China Sea again, and head straight to Hong Kong after that. Descend, and there's our destination, Hong Kong, with its runways. We've got an alternate airport. If you can't land there, we'll be going to Shenzhen is our airport as an alternate if there's a problem with landing in Hong Kong. But 2 runways should be available in Hong Kong when we get there, so there won't be any need. We'll be able to use that one. We've also got an ability with the fuel we're carrying today to go to Kaohsiung, which is another good alternate, or indeed we could turn around at some point and return to Taipei and pick up fuel if we needed to. So that's our routing today. Zooming it out again, there it is. Anchorage, south of Russian airspace, Japan, mostly Japan there, and then Taiwan, Hong Kong. Okay.
Yeah. So that's designed to wake you up. Right? So you can either cancel it there. Just touch the heading button just near that to get it to go away. Just do that. And it says, oh, they're away.
So that if we don't touch anything in this aeroplane, anything on the MCP, CDUs, or the frequency selectors or a transmit button, you should get after 20 minutes a pilot response. And it just comes up initially as a visual. If we do nothing, between 3 and 5 minutes, it becomes a caution, and you get an audio as well. So let's have a watch and see what we're going to get, because we've got a long segment here where we don't need to talk to anybody, and it's more than 20 minutes.
I began my pilot training in 2009 in Melbourne at Moorabbin Airport. And then shortly after that, the weather's always been crap in Melbourne, so I moved to country Victoria and finished my pilot training there with a flight school that's linked to a regional airline in Australia called Sharp Airlines. Yeah. We flew the Fairchild Metroliner, which is a 19-seat turboprop out of Adelaide. I did that for about 2 years, mainly flying in and out of mining towns, carrying miners to and from the mines and back into Adelaide City. That was good fun. Metroliner is a quite old aircraft, and it was a brilliant aircraft to learn on because there was always issues, hydraulic failures, engine failures, landing gear not retracting or extending. Yeah. So it was a good first aeroplane to really learn some skills on. And shortly after that, I interviewed for a second officer position at Cathay Pacific. I joined Cathay Pacific in 2016 as a second officer. Captain Obet did my first 4 training sectors. I stayed a second officer for about 4.5 years, and the second officer role at Cathay is mainly a observing role. You're fully integrated into the cockpit team, but you're not at the flight controls as such, but you get regular simulator events, and the more junior you are as a second officer, you're in the simulator every month, so you get plenty of hands-on skills, and you get to observe really experienced pilots operate day in and day out, normal operations, non-normal operations. So I did that for about 4.5 years, and then 2020 was a bad year for a lot of people. I was very lucky to upgrade in 2020 to first officer on the 747. I've joined on the 747, been on the 747 for the last 7.5 years, and when I upgraded to first officer again, it was Captain Obet who did my initial training, my first 4 sectors. I think we did Penang, Phnom Penh, Singapore, Penang, and then Phnom Penh, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
As my first 4 sectors during my
Yeah, I
Air
remember
upgrade.
that.
Yeah. That was just before we started getting locked up in hotels. So we did a little bit of exercise back then. And 3 years later now, earlier this year, I managed to qualify as a relief commander on the 747. And it's been an awesome aircraft. It's a challenging aircraft to fly, but highly rewarding. And it's been a good career so far.
Very good, very good.
Short 9 years. How about you? He flew into Kai Tak, which has been closed for 26 years.
Yes. So hi guys, my name is Obet Mazinyi, and I hail from Zimbabwe. And I started my flying career in Zambia, which I call my second country actually, Zambia, because a lot of the flying skills that I have today I actually learned from a young age in Zambia. My first flying school I went to was a school called Zambia Air Service Training Institute, which is or ZASTI for short, and I did my PPL there. And then I did my PPL there, flew Cessna 150 and the Cessna 152. Yeah. And we used to fly at City Airport. The reason I got into flying really is because the first time I ever flew was when I went to boarding school with my mom. My mom took me to boarding school. We lived in a small town called Mansa in Zambia, and I got on a Zambia Airways DC-3. Little did I know that one day I would fly the DC-3. Anyway, got on, and as I approached the airplane, I saw the pilots were up there, and I thought, wow. And the DC-3 sits at an angle, so you walk forward, holding on to the seats.
You go, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like walking up the aisle when the aircraft's climbing.
Yeah. So, and it was good because the pilots had the cockpit door open, and you could see. In fact, it wasn't even a door; it was actually just a curtain they had. So I could see what they were doing, and I knew then. I said, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. I think I was only 6 or 7 years, or 7. I was just on 7 years old. And we flew from Mansa to Ndola to Lusaka on the DC-3. And I went to school, and I was hooked from then on. Then my primary school I went to was a school called Silver Rest Primary School. It's on the Great East Road in Lusaka. And from the playground of the school, you can see in the distance the Lusaka International Airport. So certainly you could see it, and you could see airplanes taking off and landing from that, so...
And what were common aircraft around that time?
At break time, I could see airplanes climbing out and coming into land from the school playground. You could see it, and you could certainly hear it, because the airplanes those days were DC-8s, 707s, PAC 111s, almost pure jets. They had some bypass, but they were almost pure jet. VC-10 used to come in, BOAC and things like that. So yeah, so I just said, and then on finishing my primary school, I went to a secondary school in Lusaka as well, and every weekend I used to go to the airport and just sit on the balcony watching airplanes. There was no such stuff as iPods and iPhones and iPads and stuff like that, but what you had was a tape recorder. A tape recorder with a little tape inside, of course. I'm saying this only because there's a lot of millennials and young generations that have never seen a tape recorder. Anyway, it had a little tape, and you put this little tape in a little recorder, and you just press record. It was usually a nice red record button, and it's remained today, because modern cameras still have a little red bit when you want to record. So I used to sit there and sit on the balcony and record all the sounds of the airplanes, starting up, taxiing out, taking off, and so on. And then I'd go back to school in the evening and rewind the tape and play it, and I'd be guessing, I'd be telling my friends, that's a VC-10 engine starting, that's a so-and-so, that's a so-and-so, yeah. And it ended up that when I was at school, my nickname was Boeing. The guys used to call me Boeing. Anyway, so and from then I knew that there was a school in Lusaka that was doing pilot training. I got a place at university when I finished high school, University of Zambia, and then I decided the first week I went to university, the school advertised for pilots. sponsorship. So I applied. As far as I know, there were 3,000. They told us there were over 3,000 applicants, but they only wanted 10 students. And I managed to go through the tests and the aptitude tests and the questioning and so on, and I was one of the 10. So I got in. So I quit university and said, I'm going flying. And my mom said, are you sure you want to do? I said, yeah, I'm going flying. That's what I want to do. Yeah. And thereafter, I did my PPL there. And when I finished my PPL, Zambia Airways sponsored a whole group of us, all of us, pretty much. And we went to the British Airways Flight Training School at College of Air Training at Hamble in the UK. And that's where I did my CPL, instrument rating, and twin rating, and all that, what people do today. It was all sponsored, so I was lucky that I didn't have to pay anything at all. So I owe absolutely everything to Zambia, and especially Zambia Airways, because when you had no money at all, the airline comes up and sponsors people and trains you, and you had to work for Zambia Airways for 4 years minimum, basically to repay the money they'd spent. But it didn't matter because we had a job. So the 4 years didn't mean anything because the intention was you're going to stay there, and that would be your airline. So then, but when I finished, they didn't have any room to go directly as a co-pilot or first officer in Zambia Airways. What you did was you became a systems pilot, and systems pilot operated the flight engineers panel on the 707. So they sent me and my colleagues to Dublin in Ireland. We did a sort of flight engineers course. It was actually a systems pilot course, but similar to basically to run the aeroplane from the flight engineers panel. And you would sit there, and then from there you then upgrade to what they had then was the HS748 as a co-pilot, and then you go from there as a co-pilot to the 737, then co-pilot on 707, then back to the HS748 as captain. So that was the sort of progression they had in Zambia Airways. But then they had a management contract with Ethiopian Airlines, and Ethiopian Airlines said, look, we are getting 767s, and a bunch of our pilots are going to Boeing to train onto the 767, and all the pilots that will be on the DC-3 will be moving up to 727s and 707s. So we've got a gap here, and we notice you've got a lot of pilots who are not flying very much, and some of them are systems pilots. Would you like us to take some of them and train them as co-pilots on the DC-3? So I put my hand up. I said, yeah. So that's how I ended up going to Ethiopia, trained with Ethiopian Airlines on the DC-3, flew nearly 2 years on DC-3 as a co-pilot, all around Ethiopia, everywhere, all the little strips. I flew on the DC-3. That's where I got my first nearly 1,000 hours as a pilot. And ultimately I wanted to end up in my country, Zimbabwe. And Zimbabwe had Viscounts. They didn't have 737s, but they had Viscounts and 707. So I immediately applied to Zambia Airways while I was still in Ethiopia. And Air Zimbabwe wanted you to have 1,000 hours as a minimum join. And I remember when I applied, I only had 890 or something. I didn't have the required 1,000 hours. So they said, can you apply when you get your 1,000 hours? So when I got about 970 or so, I applied again. I said, well, I'm pretty much there. So they called me for an interview. I went for the interview, got in, and I quit Zambia Airways and went to Zimbabwe and joined Air Zimbabwe. That was early 80s, and flew the Viscount for nearly 4 years. And then I moved on to, then they had acquired the Boeing 737. I went on to the 737, flew that for a couple of years. Then I went to the 707 as an FO, but I didn't sit there for long. It was almost 8 months. I immediately got promoted onto the BAE 146 as a captain.
The Whisper Jet.
Yeah. I went to Hatfield, flew the 146, became a training captain on it, and then I moved from the 146 and upgraded as a captain on the 707, because Air Zimbabwe now had got the 767 and people had gone off, so I moved to the 707 as a captain. And it was from there that I applied to Hong Kong. And the first company I worked for in Hong Kong, in fact, was not Cathay Pacific, it was the old Air Hong Kong. The old Air Hong Kong had 707s, and eventually they acquired the 747. And the 100 747. And yeah, and then they got the 200. And the funny thing is, I flew a Boeing 707 in Air Hong Kong that Zambia Airways used to operate.
That's cool.
After Zambia Airways gave it back to the leasing company, it went to some other company, and then Air Hong Kong acquired it. Yeah. And yeah, because when we were doing some inspection once, we saw some Zambia Airways paraphernalia, some stickers and so on.
So those are the planes you probably saw out of your playground, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Got to operate it.
Yes, and then I got to fly it years later. Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
It was quite cool. And then after that, a few years in Air Hong Kong, I joined Cathay Pacific. I've been there ever since, nearly 27 years.
And I guess you joined Air Hong Kong when Kai Tak was still
yeah,
the
I used to fly into Kai Tak. I was based in Kai Tak with the Air Hong Kong, and when we changed to Cathay as well. Yeah.
That would have been incredible.
Yeah, and here I am flying the Dash 8. 747s for more than, I don't know, nearly 30 years I've been flying 747s from the 100, 200, yeah.
But this one's special for some particular reason, isn't it?
This one is actually very special because I think I mentioned it the other day. This aeroplane, Bravo Lima Juliet November, is the aeroplane I delivered from Boeing in 2016. So it's my baby.
And you got to meet the legendary Joe Sutter.
And yeah, when we went to pick this aeroplane up, we met Joe Sutter. We went to his house. We had oysters, and we had all sorts of things from his lake. It's actually his house where it is. Yeah.
That's
cool. And we took pictures, and of course I asked him certain questions, and we all asked questions, took selfies with him, and I was glad I met him because I think it was 4 months later he passed on. So yeah. It was great that I met him, and built a beautiful airplane. Still is.
Like how many years ago? Like 60 years ago?
Yeah.
And it's still going strong?
Yep.
So one of the things we do quite often is keep up to date with the nearest airports on our route and the weather conditions. So we sort of put them in the fixed page just to give us a bit of an idea of distance to go and how long it would take us to get there. So right now, Chitose in Japan is the closest airport to us. It's just here to the west. It's about 300 miles away. So just to get the latest weather, we usually go to weather on the center CDU here. And gonna get Chitose, Tokyo. Let's get Nagoya and Naha, which is close to Taiwan. And then we just click Meta to get the latest metas. Obviously we're heading to Hong Kong, so we can see what the weather looks like in Hong Kong with the ATIS function. So that's an arrival ATIS via single report, send, and hopefully not too long from now we should get both requests. So usually the ATIS will come up with a prompt here saying ATIS, and the weather we just requested from the Meta should give us a bing and a printout. So that's the Meta as we just requested for the airports in Japan. And as you can see, ATIS, the prompts come up. There's a little asterisk there, and there's also a COM message with a printer message. So if we miss this and we're looking up ahead, that prompts us that there's a message for us. Click the ATIS now, and the last ATIS for Hong Kong was at 6:34 Zulu. That's just 22 minutes ago. They're using runway 07 left. Mostly a headwind, 10 kilometers of visibility, a few cloud at 800 feet, temperature's 29, dew point 25, and the QNH is 1006. ATIS information's Foxtrot. And as you can see here, this is the meta information for our en route alternate airports. That's Chitose, not looking great, bit of mist, low cloud, You can see the 18 degrees of temperature and dew point. Usually when those are close, it's going to be pretty misty or foggy conditions. That's Tokyo. Tokyo looks good, a bit windy at 17 knots. Nagoya, same. Yeah, so they look pretty good outside of Chitose, but Chitose does have low visibility operations on runway 19 right, so if we had to go there, it wouldn't be much of an issue.
Okay guys, just quickly, I want to tell you something about the traffic. How do pilots, airline pilots, or in fact just general aviation as well, all aircraft, how do we tell that there's another aircraft, even if we're in cloud and so on? We've got a system called TCAS, Traffic and Collision Avoiding System. And on the screen, on the navigation display, which is this one here, I can see right now that there's an aircraft in front of us. It's about 25 miles ahead, or 20 miles or so, and the 00 indicates that it's at the same level as us, 00. And you notice it's indicated by a diamond there, and that diamond indicates the aircraft. On the right is another aircraft with a minus sign in front of it, 3,900. That means the aircraft is 3,900 feet. It's actually 4,000 feet, but sometimes the digits come out as 39, but it's actually 4,000 feet below. There's another one there, that's 1,000 feet below, and one here is 3,000 feet below. So these are other aircraft. Anytime the aircraft becomes a threat to us, as in it gets too close to us, that diamond I showed you becomes a solid diamond. When it's within 6 miles of the position that we're at, it becomes a solid diamond. And of course, if it becomes too close, as in to our aircraft, and is approaching a possible collision, we get an alert of traffic first, which means for us, we should get prepared. We should look out to see if we can identify the traffic. But essentially, it's an alert for us to be ready just in case the system tells us to climb or descend, or indeed maintain our level. So if we hear traffic, we normally look on the screen to see what the traffic is and where it's coming from, and then we try and make visual contact with the aircraft. But we're trained in the simulators, and we practice collision avoidance just about very regularly in the simulator, so we know exactly what to do. So sometimes you might notice a maneuver that an aircraft might do. If ever you've noticed that as a passenger, it may have been because they were responding to a traffic, a TCAS, as we call it, collision avoidance system. So it's a safe thing. We're in cloud as it is now, but we know there's aircraft there and there and there using that TCAS. There you go. Hi guys, so just to give you a progress report of how we're doing on our way to Hong Kong. We've been flying now for 8 hours and 54 minutes, and our flight time is 10 hours and 30 minutes pretty much. So we've got just over an hour and a half to go. Our position is now just northeast of Taiwan. There's Taiwan there. We're somewhere up here, approaching Bulan, and we'll be going over Taipei, continuing to the west of the island of Taiwan, and then entering Hong Kong airspace at the position called Ilato, and there's Hong Kong there. So we've got about an hour and a half to go. We've just picked up the weather in Hong Kong. The weather is actually very nice. It's I know it has been raining a lot, but at the moment, in terms of aeroplane arrivals, the weather is just perfect. It's wind is pretty much down the runway with a good visibility and no precipitation at the moment. So we should have a pleasant fly-in, and when we get closer, you should be able to listen to the briefing that we're going to do that talks about the actual action plan as we fly into Hong Kong. So I'll give you a progress later.
Cathay 819 contact control 26 to the north.
You there?
Copied.
Okay, so we're just about to start our descent preparations for Hong Kong, and I've put in an expected arrival here based on the weather we just got, and we just got the weather in Hong Kong. They're currently using arrivals runway 07 left, and the wind is favoring 07 left. Visibility is good. There is a chance of a thunderstorm with showers when we get closer, but we'll check up on that as we get much closer to see what the actual state is at the airport. And then in here for the arrival, just to confirm, I've put in what we standard instrument arrival star Abbey 3 Alpha for the approach transition onto ILS runway 07 left, as that's what we expect to get. But we'll only confirm that once we speak to Hong Kong directly. Okay, so now what we're going to do is calculate the required landing distance. Okay, I've got Bravo Lima Juliet November. Again, it's independent. He puts in the data, I put in the data, and we do a calculation. 07 left, rather Bravo Lima Juliet November no lights, Hong Kong 07 left. Maybe wet to be conservative. Let's go wet.
Check.
Zero wind. Okay?
Check.
And I haven't put any credit for the reverse thrust, but I think we should put it because it's wet.
Agreed.
All up. Okay. And then calculate. Those are the only variables there. Okay. And just come back with some stuff and do the compare again. Compare calculation with crew dump. Connecting.
Accept. And QNH was the
1007, is it?
Yes.
That's the new QNH.
Check.
Okay, so it's disagreed on the QNH. You've got 007, 1006. What is the QNH? QNH 1007. Okay. So do another one there. 1007. Done. The rest remains the same. Calculate. Okay, I've got the result. To compare with crew dump. I like that crew dump.
I don't.
Okay, no mismatch, so now we're matched up.
Check.
And I reckon if we send it off to Flight Deck Pro, let's see what it gives us. Import, yeah. So for landing distance, probably auto brake 3 would give us Charlie 9 comfortably.
Check.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah. Happy with that?
Happy with that?
Okay, good. So we can do a quick brief then. There's a recall. There are no notes. It's flap 25. Auto brakes 3, please. And using reverse thrust, expecting vacating at Charlie 9.
Check.
In here, we've got the Abbey 3 Alpha arrival with approach transition, VH701 to ILS 07 left. The charts to fly that will be 10-2, which is the initial transition for the arrival. And then we'll be going on to 10-2 Delta, which commences at Abbey, that takes us all the way in to Limes. And then we'll be going on to the ILS, which is 11-9. Okay. Once we get closer, frequency is going to be 111.55. The platform altitude is 1,500 feet, with the stabilized departure point of VH702.
Check.
1,500 feet. Descending on the ILS glide path to cross the 4-mile checkpoint, if you like, or we can use that actual glide slope of 4 miles. That's 1,300 feet.
Check.
If you want to check. Continuing down to a minimum of 223, set on the left.
223 set right.
The missed approach is fairly convoluted here in the beginning. It's anyway, the initial action is straight ahead, turn left at after the departure end of runway onto at VH726 to 040 going to 727.
Check.
The stop off altitude is 5,000 feet. And terrain is 4,300 feet. It's very effective for the missed approach, 4,300 feet, the missed approach. And weather is, at the moment, the airport itself is fine. There is some thunderstorm activity in the area. Or if we need to, we'll deviate around that.
Sounds good.
And operationally, we intend to stay in Hong Kong, but should we divert, we need a minimum for today to go to our alternate, which is Shenzhen of 11.1. So let's work on, say, 13 tons before we go to Shenzhen, which gives us about 5 tons to play with, which is at least half an hour of play and holding before we think of diverting. That's all I can think of. Questions, additions?
No questions. No
Descent
additions.
checklist.
Descent checklist. Recall. Checked.
Checked. No, that's yours.
Checked. Auto brakes 3. Landing data.
It's ref 25149, minimums Barrow 223.
VF 25149, minimums 223. Briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist complete.
Check. And that's the descent briefing completed. We're ready to start our descent once we get into Hong Kong airspace and we get a confirmation of the arrival runway. Okay.
Hong Kong, good day, Cathay 20901, flight level 380, information Juliet, and we're squawking 3657.
Cathay 209, radar contact, clear Abbey 3 Alpha arrival.
Cleared Abbey 3 Alpha arrival, Cathay 20901.
Confirm again, Abbey 3 Alpha arrival.
Check.
That's it.
Hong Kong ready, good evening, Uncle Shuttle 899, maintaining flight level 360, squawking 3732.
Descend at flight level 310, Cathay 20901.
Macau 107, what is your speed now?
Flight level 310.
Flight level 310.
Macau 107.
Fast to
Macau
speed.
107, maintain speed 300 knots.
Maintain speed 300 knots, Macau 107.
Macau 107, contact radar 126.5.
Contact rate 126.5, bye-bye, Macau 107.
Bye-bye.
Heading 280, please, just for about 15
Tower
miles.
205, contact radar 126.5.
15.
1265, Tower 205, good day.
About 20 miles, heading 280.
Sure. Cathay 20901, request heading 280 due weather for about 20 nautical miles.
Cathay 2091, approved when able direct NPAD.
280 approved when able direct NPAD, Cathay 2091.
Probably 285 is even better. Doesn't matter, you don't have to tell him. He's okay with it.
Check.
It just showed a bit of red there.
Yeah.
That's 280 is okay, I suppose.
Hong Kong, good evening, Air Macau 861, flight level 340, approaching Gelato, squawk 3675.
Macau 61, radar contact, clear Sierra, Mike Tango
Been
4
about.
Alpha.
Check.
Sierra Mike Tango 4 Alpha, Macau 861.
China Eastern 2090, connect Shanghai 128.35.
128.35, China Eastern 2090, good day.
Ready to descend to flight level 260, reached by NPAD, and we're proceeding direct to NPAD now, Cathay 20901.
Roger. Hong Kong Shuttle 899, when ready, descend for the full 260, reach by NPAD.
Flight number 260.
Ready,
Flight
descend
level
level
260.
260 to reach by NPAD, Hong Kong Shuttle 899.
China Eastern 738, connect Shanghai 128.35.
128.35, China 738.
You can see here we're below the path.
Yes, should
And-
pick it up and go to VNAV path. Because he said when ready, so
Yeah.
I'll let it fly into the path and descend.
Check.
How's it looking up ahead towards Hong Kong? Anything there?
Didn't look like much. It looks like it's all out to the
No.
right. Yeah.
There's a little bit there,
Yeah.
but Hong Kong seems clear. Yeah.
There's that one.
Cathay 2091, contact radar 126.5.
Radar 126.5, Cathay 2091.
Cathay
Hong Kong radar, good day, Cathay 2091, descending at flight level 260, reached by NPAD.
Cathay 2091, Hong Kong radar, descend to flight level 180, cross NPAD at or below flight level 260.
Descend to flight level 180, cross NPAD at or below flight level 260, Cathay 2091.
Flight level 180.
Flight level 180.
We've got 260 for NPET anyway, so we'll just leave it as is.
Check.
So again, what we do, as we go below 20,000 feet again, we enter the sterile period of the approach all the way to touchdown and taxi in.
Shadow 8999 Hong Kong radar, descend to flight level 180, cross NPAD at or below flight level 260.
Roger, descend to flight level 180, cross NPAD at below flight level 260, Hong Kong Shadow 899.
Parking bay.
X-ray 9 as previous. Descend to flight level 140, Cathay 2091.
Flight level 140.
Flight level 140.
Idle with enough speed.
Check.
We're not far off the path. We should be able to pick it up.
Hong Kong, good evening. Mecca 102, Suza 3 Tango departure, passing 4,800 feet, climbing 6,000, squawk 3366.
Hold.
102 departure, identify climb unrestricted to flight level 120.
I'm unrestricted, flight level 120, Mecca 102.
Speed in up path.
Check.
Good evening, Hong Kong Shuttle 899, descend flight level 180, information kilo.
Hong Kong Shuttle 899 departure, descend to reach level 110 by Tamar, cancel muscle level restriction.
Descend flight level 110 by Tamar and cancel muscle level restriction.
Want to go?
Check.
Cathay 2091, descend to reach level 110 in 20 miles.
Descend to reach flight level 110 in 20 miles, Cathay 2091.
Flight level 110.
Flight level 110.
I think we can do that.
Muscle.
Departure, identify, maintain 5,000 feet.
5,000 feet, Brenner 765.
China 73038, descend to flight level 150, maintain on reaching causing traffic below.
Second, China 73038.
China 73038, descend to flight level 150 and maintain level on reaching causing traffic below.
So this is where we'll reach flight level 110 by. They wanted 110 by 20 miles,
so we should be okay now. Yep. Back to VNAV.
Macau 102,
As that's inside the range range.
Plus VNAV speed.
Check.
Anten flight level 110, Macau 102.
Want to go?
Check.
China 739A departure,
Speed in
Roger.
about.
Check.
And China 739A, are you able to stay on the flight plan route until Tamar? China 739A, Roger, thank you.
Departure Singapore 895 out of 2,000.
Speed window is open. I'll keep it at 280.
Check. Departure, identify, maintain 5,000 feet.
Maintain 5,000 feet, 895.
Check. Hong Kong approach Cathay 2091, information kilo, maintaining 1000.
Cathay 2091, hello, information kilo correct, runway 07 left.
07 left, Cathay 2091. Yes, still in flight levels.
Focus 849, further right heading 340, contact director 119.5.
340, director 195, Homicide 49, good night.
Good night.
Okay. Speed window is closed.
Check.
It should just get us in, just outside the weather there.
Check.
By the time we get to Tutba, we'll be out of it, so it should, looks okay.
approach checklist, altimeters.
1007.
1007. Cabin ready. Approach checklist complete.
Check. Still a bit high, I'll just help it along a bit.
Check.
Cathay 201, can you track direct lines or do you want to go south of that little weather?
Would rather go slightly around it. Yeah.
We'd rather go behind the weather and around it, Cathay 2091.
Roger, flighting 225.
Heading 225, Cathay 2091.
Approach taxi 11, Queen Mango, flight level 130, direct WAP.
Taxi 11, hello, information, kilo, runway 07 left, descend 8,000 feet, QNH 1007.
Descend 8,000 feet, QNH 1007, taxi 11. Hong Kong Shutdown 899 kilo, maintain level 110.
So when we get about here, we can go to lines. We just miss clipping that bit.
Yep.
Let's put direct lines and see what it looks like. Yeah, in about 1 mile, you can say we can take lines.
Sounds good.
Okay, tell him we can take limes now.
Cathay 2091, we can take direct limes.
Thank you, turn right direct to lines, Cathay 2091.
Right direct to limes, Cathay 2091.
Execute. LNAV.
Check.
Singapore 895.
We'll be upwind of it and we're off to the left, which is better.
123, good evening, Takeoff 895.
Let's confirm 12347.
12347, good evening, Takeoff 895.
Cathay 2091, descend to 3,000 feet from Limes via Tutbach, cleared ILS 07 left.
Descend at 3,000 feet from Limes via Tutbach, cleared ILS 07 left, Cathay 2091.
Hong Kong 899, descend to 3,000 feet, QNH 1007.
It's a little bit.
QNH 1007, 3,000 feet, Hong Kong Shuttle 899.
From Lime via Tutbach, cleared ILS
High speed approved.
07 left.
Check. Direct Lime, high speed approved, taxi 11.
Slowing down a bit early.
Sure.
Flaps 1.
Speed checks, flaps 1.
Speed windows closed.
Check.
Oops. Yeah. VNAV.
Check.
Speed VNAV path.
Check.
Should pick up nicely there.
Taxi at 11, descend to 3,000 feet.
It's flying into the path.
Approach, good evening, Philippine 306, descending to flight level 130 to reach my Mango. We have Kilo.
Philippine 306, hello, kilos correct, runway 07 left. Continue descend to 8,000 feet.
Speed checks, flaps 5.
Runway 07 left, descend 8,000 and QNH 1007. Philippine 306.
So altitude of 3,000 is assured. We'll definitely make it. We're coming up 2 miles to it.
Check.
Happy with that?
291, maintain 180 not so great until established.
180 not so great until established.
180 not so great until established, Cathay 2091.
1,500 feet said.
1,500. Check.
Going to pick up a bit of a tailwind in the right turn.
Check.
Flaps 10.
Speed checks, flaps 10.
Hong Kong Shuttle 899, the reduced speed to 230
Windows
knots.
open, 180 knots.
Check.
899, 230 knots or less.
ILS India Zulu Sierra Lima identified with 074.
And identified on the right.
We are cleared ILS.
Check.
Philippines 306, track direct to Limes, maintain speed.
Direct to Limes, maintain speed, Philippines 306. Hong Kong Project 136, good evening. Passing level 187, descending flight level 130.
Vector 136, hello, information kilo, runway 07 left, descend to 8,000 feet, QNH 1007.
Information kilo, descend 8,000 feet, runway 07 left, QNH 1007, Rick 136.
I just hope there's a law. Let's have a look. Yeah, it seems it should be okay.
Check.
We should capture together with everything. At the moment, it looks all right.
Check.
Contrasted VS.
Cathay 947,
Street VS on 1500 feet is okay.
Check.
Yeah.
Deafening 060, Cathay
Fly
947.
slope. Check.
Check.
Hong Kong 899, can you give me the present wind?
18416 knots.
One to go. Missed approach is 5,000.
Check. And missed approach is 5,000 feet.
Check.
Flaps 20.
Speed checks. Flaps
And
20.
all stations, the wind at touchdown is 22010 knots. So flight tailwind.
Cathay 2091 established.
Thank you, Cathay 2091. Contact tower 118.7, bye-bye.
1187 Cathay 2091. Goodbye.
Before you go, gear down.
Gear down. Hong Kong Tower Cathay 2091.
Cathay 2091 tower, touchdown wind 220 degrees, 9 knots, runway 07 left, clear to land.
Runway 07 left, clear to land Cathay 2091.
Full
Flaps 25.
Speed checks. Flaps 25.
Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Landing checklist complete.
Check. Auto brakes. 4.
Check.
Land 3, roller down, flare up.
Check.
Wipers.
And Victor Hotel 702, altitude checks, missed approach set. Clear to land. Should go low. Stable.
54. Check. There's a quartering tail in there.
Check.
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 Disconnecting autopilot.
Check.
Flight director.
Check.
100. Minimums.
Continue.
Check. On speed 900. On speed 900.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Speed brake up. Rev green.
I'll go to the next one.
Check.
Manual braking.
Check. 60 knots.
Cathay 2091, vacate Charlie 90, right on Charlie.
Vacate Charlie 90, right on Charlie, Cathay 2091. Charlie's the first right.
Yeah.
Shuttle 8999, wind 220 degrees 15 knots, runway 07F, clear to land.
Right turn here.
Check. Clear.
Shuttle 899.
Shuttle 8999, confirm clear to land 07F.
Confirm clear to land. 07F, Washington 229.
Cathay 2091, taxi Delta 4 Delta, hold short Zulu.
Delta 4 here.
Check. Delta 4 Delta, whole shot of Zulu, Cathay 2091. Okay, Delta 4 is here, and then on to Delta. Whole shot of Zulu, which is the perpendicular.
Yeah. Okay, this is Delta 4.
Check.
Shuttle 8999, vacate Charlie 7 John Zulu, you are number 1.
Charlie 7, John Zulu, Hong Kong Shuttle 899.
Giving way to him.
Zulu's the first one here, right?
Check.
Yeah.
And he's coming off, going number 1.
Continue.
Check. On speed 900. On speed 900.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Speed break up. Rev grain.
I'll go to the next one.
Check.
Manual braking.
Check. 60 knots.
Minimums. $50, $40, $30, $20, $10.
Base number 9, is it?
Check.
Tower Cebu 113 on Juliet 11.
2113, Roger. Cathay 20901, taxi stand X-ray 9er.
X-ray 9er, Cathay 20901, good night.
X-ray 9, confirmed.
Check. AP running.
On the bus.
Leg gen off 1.
Check. Finishes the lights, thank you. I've got the marshal inside. Brake set.
Check.
Marshall says the chocks are in, he's walking away. I haven't got a... waiting for him to call us. Hello, ground, are you there?
Go ahead.
Okay, park brake is set. We're on blocks at 4-5.
Thank you. Choke in position.
Chocks in position, thank you. Are we getting any external power?
External power enough.
Okay, thanks. Chocks in position, thank you. Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Shutdown checklist complete.
Check. And we're here. We're just parked. Parking brake set. We've just done the shutdown checklist. And now we're going to do some paperwork, as it's called, but it's not really paperwork. It's everything in the iPad and electronic maintenance log. And then to finish off before we walk off the aeroplane, we'll do the secure checklist. Okay. Secure checklist.
Secure
please.
checklist. IRSs off. Emergency lights off. Packs off.
Can leave one pack on.
Sure.
Just
check.
Can override that item.
Override. Yeah. APU
is staying on. There's no external power.
Item override. Secure checklist complete.
Check. And that is it, guys. We have just done the secure checklist. We're going to step off the aeroplane now. I've done the maintenance log, and I hope you enjoyed that trip. You probably noticed, I hope you noticed that there was a little bit of weather coming into Hong Kong, which we went around and managed to come through unscathed, as it were. So we're back in Hong Kong, aeroplanes in one piece. We're happy, and Cathay Pacific, as usual, has delivered its cargo as promised to its suppliers. So it's we carry everything, you know, in Cathay Pacific. We carry horses, we carry animals, we carry pigs, we carry cows, we carry race cars, we carry all sorts of things, everything, just anything you want.
New iPhone 15.
New iPhones, new anything, clothing. This is what we do. We carry everything and we take care of it, just as you've seen on this flight. Hope you enjoyed it, and Dushyant,
thanks for joining us, and looking forward to watching with you guys.
Yeah, we're looking forward to watching it. Later.
Good.